Dying Light is a good game. If you like zombie games and never played Dying Light, first of all, what the hell are you doing? And second of all, this game is peak zombie games. This game has it all. It has parkour, there's zombies, day and night cycle, a rich open world experience, skill tree, actually multiple skill trees, crafting mechanics, there is guns in this game, and oh, did I also mention that there is zombies in this game too? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Dying Light is one of, if not the best zombie game you could play out there. But the game still has some problems. For example, this game is very easy. When you start out the game feels difficult. Zombies can overwhelm you easily and the parkour feels sluggish and slow. But once you reach the midpoint of the game becomes a snooze fest. You become too overpowered, looting isn't needed since you probably stockpiled a bunch of good weapons, and nighttime becomes a joke. So what if a Belgium guy decided to make a mod that overhauls Dying Light and makes it better? Well, you'd get Nightrunner is a mod for Dying Light, developed by a popular Dying Light player called Fear. His real name is and his address is. What the Nightrunner mod tries to do is overhaul Dying Light completely and make the difficulty challenging. Not in a way where it's artificially hard, but more so in a good way. Think of Dark Souls 2 versus Dark Souls 3 difficulty. There is a lot to unpack about this mod, and if you expect me to be spotting all the changes and making a comparison for all the changes this mod makes, then you are watching the wrong video. Go read the patch note for this mod if you want to see all the changes. What I'm going to do in this video is point out the cool stuff and also talk about my gripes with this mod, starting with this mod is difficult, believe it or not. When starting a new game, you can choose from 3 difficulties: Nightrunner, Massacre, and Extinction mode. He also added a little cheeky skill issue difficulty because the developer is a bit silly. All of these difficulties are great, but this mod begs to be played on Extinction. It's not artificially tough, like I said. This difficulty is like the Nightmare difficulty from base game if Techland actually cared that they didn't increase the sliders all the way up. Zombies do take a lot of swings at the start of the game, but if you level up your combat skill tree and find good weapons with good damage, zombies become easy over time. But don't get me wrong, this mod isn't easy, it's very difficult, especially how rare the loot is to find, but overall the difficulty is neatly balanced. So let's talk about The gameplay is where a lot of things got changed. If you look carefully, the first thing you can notice is the 2 bars down below. The blue one is your movement stamina that includes parkour, climbing, and all things that have to do with movement. And the orange bar is your combat stamina, pretty self-explanatory. You do anything that concerns combat like swinging, death blow, kicking, and you'll deplete your combat bar. Honestly, these 2 new additions are good. They are both simple to grasp, they don't impact the gameplay too much, but they also need to be taken into consideration as depleting both of them will leave you vulnerable to getting swarmed and attacked. Also, another big thing this mod changes is the skill trees, and this one is my favorite change the mod does. Skill trees are completely reworked from the ground up, whereas before the skill trees were kinda dumb in a way where you didn't have to think about which skill you're going to get. Now allocating a point into a skill requires thoughts and consideration. Every skill unlocks a new thing like a move or an ability to craft certain stuff in the game, but they also give major and minor buffs with set skills, again requiring you to read what the skill gives you before allocating your points. It's great, there are 3 skill trees in the game and all of them help towards progress in your character, making the game more fun as a result. One thing that I didn't really enjoy at the start of the game is the weapon durability. I know you can use mods to increase your weapon durability and you can repair weapons too, but at the start of the game you barely even have enough weapons, let alone enough scraps and loot to repair weapons. And with this skill that makes you able to do strong attack, which is good to kill zombies faster by the way, it also depletes the weapon durability by a lot. I noticed it when I was playing the Hellray DLC, and since weapons there cannot be repaired, the DLC is unbeatable, or is beatable, but you have to resort to some pretty scummy playstyle. Oh, speaking about DLCs, Fear the Mad Lad made this mod compatible with all the DLCs in this game. The following, for example, which is basically Dying Light 1.5, he added a bunch of new stuff there too. My favorite addition is, superpowers. If you defeat a freak of nature, which are the open world bosses in that DLC, you unlock a superpower for a short time. I think that's pretty cool, but let's go back to the main game for now. The problem I had with the vanilla Dying Light is that it gets boring halfway through your playthrough, especially if you were like me and likes to loot everything you see. Loot at the midpoint of the game kinda gets thrown out of the gameplay loop and becomes useless. And it's not just the looting mechanics, but a bunch of other mechanics become useless once you are at Old Town. And I can say that Nightrunner fixes this problem. Since loot is actually scarce now, you will find yourself looting in the open world even during endgame, making the gameplay loop a bit better. Fear also changed the quarantine zones to have way better loot, but they are harder. Some quarantine zones have special infected bosses inside of them that gives you a very good reward if you beat it. And speaking about special infected, Fear also added added 2 new zombies in the game, the Among Us and the Mutant. The Among Us is a bit of a mixed bag since fighting him early on is very RNG, especially since he can knock you over easily, but the Mutant is great. His movesets are totally fair and balanced and they look cool as fuck. Defeating them gives you very good reward, and if you hear this sound that means that the special zombies spawned in and are now hunting you. Overall, the gameplay is good, it's nice, and Fear did a good job. So Nightrunner is an amazing mod. It fixes most of Dying Light problems and also innovates on the game, adding a bit of survival aspects into the action zombie game. It's crazy how one Belgian person can make a mod with this amount of content and care into an otherwise good game, while a whole ass Polish company couldn't even add one little good thing into their big budget AAA game. If you guys want to check out this mod for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. Go play the mod, show the guy some support. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please do give me a like and subscribe maybe. My goal is to reach 1,000 subs before 2024 ends, and if we can make that happen, I'm gonna be happy. So, is this mod better or worse than Sonic CD? I mean, well, technically speaking, Sonic CD is better. Fuck you guys, bye bye.
Probably gonna hit that don't save changes again. Used to write a song a day. It's just that lately my perfection's in the way of me, and I can't make no changes to save me. Wish I could write more and care less. Wish I could write more and care less. Write more and care less and care